Good evening, everybody. This is Davey Jones from our Pizza Hut in Bucyrus with Coach's Corner West. This is the first show of our season. We are going to be talking with football coaches approximately August 15th. But before that, we got 3 special shows which are going to deal exclusively with non-football sports and give some of these other kids a lot of credit, which are there certainly do. Our broadcast coverage on WQEL Facebook page is brought to you in part by Adam Weiser and the Associates in Advanced Fiber Technology, Coach Tim Plumley at Mohegan Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation, Matt Studer at Spitzer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Kia, just a mile east of the Richland Mall. Also Rob Lust at the Edgefield Animal Clinic in Marion, Matt Ramsey, John Ziegler, Drew Young, and Frank Hyland and everybody at Bucyrus Blade, serving worldwide markets since 1951, and Roger Brown at Winks Lock and Safe, South Poplar Street at West Warren, Bucyrus. My privilege to welcome to our microphones the head coach of the cross-country program at Bucyrus High School, that's Kevin Boggs. And Kevin, welcome to the show. Let's talk about the total numbers we have, boys and girls, in cross-country this year at Bucyrus.
Right now, high school, we're looking at around 12 athletes.
Okay.
Middle school, actually pretty close to the same, about 12
All right.
athletes. Just looking, as always, we're always just looking to have enough to have full teams to raise.
All right.
High school girls, we're still looking for one.
Now, it would be nice we could get a few more, right?
Well, always.
How do you recruit, Coach?
That is always a task to convince kids to come out and run the mileage we do. A lot of it is just trying to convince them to come out and be a part of the team, trying to convince them that it'll help for winter sports. Some of them genuinely like to run the longer distances. A lot of them I teach at Bucyrus, so a lot of them are students.
You're in the school then, right?
So I'm always trying to get kids to come out for cross country and track, because I'm head coach for track too. So.
All right. Coach, when you're in the school system, does that make it easier to recruit? And are you seeing kids walking the halls that ought to be doing this?
Oh, always. I feel, to answer your first one, to be in the school, to see the kids, and get that relationship, get to know them, to get the feel for what they're capable of, I think it definitely helps. And then as far as the getting kids up, I think every school has that issue, just getting kids involved with
Is it more difficult today than when you were in school?
For cross country?
For anything?
Probably just as difficult, but I do think there's so many other things that draw the kids' interests, clubs, and other sports, and just
Jobs?
and not wanting to do the sports.
Video games?
Video games, all that. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about some of the new faces. I saw down here we got some freshmen on the team.
I do. We had a very talented middle school boys team, so they're all freshmen now. Got 2 of those with me, and they've moved up to the high school group. We have no senior boys at all, actually, and our only senior is Leah. So we have a very young group of kids, but they're working hard, put in a lot of mileage, and I think they're going to do well.
Coach, we were talking about you getting recruiting within the system. Let's talk a little bit about you. Sell me cross country.
For cross country, I would say it's a very family oriented group. Our kids all very close to each other. They're a very tight knit group. They put a lot of hard work in, so they have that bonding. It's always a challenge. So I'm always looking for kids who are willing to have a little toughness to them and put in the work to be successful. And it's not always about winning. Obviously, everybody wants to win, but the way we approach it is, if you're improving, you're getting faster, that's success.
Have you guys been able to start legal practice yet?
Actually, that starts for all the fall sports Monday, August 1st.
Next Monday. All right, a week from today. Yeah. So, certainly young people like this who are all trying to excel in everything. I'm giving you guys a little bit of a pep talk here, but they can be out in the summer, hitting the streets, running, and whether it's at the golf course or wherever the kids are.
We have a lot of kids who, in June, they're very pulled for, Carter does basketball. So in the month of June, he does a lot of basketball stuff before he is able to switch over. Charlie just came back from band camp.
All right.
Harper works, Leah works, and had fair stuff last week. So, we have kids kind of drawn from everywhere, but, we try to, I have two other assistant coaches who are great assistants with me, Dave Jones and Matt Feck. And so between the three of us, we've kind of coordinated some different times available to help the kids get to voluntary practices. And so we've had a very committed group.
And they have been out running.
They have been out running.
All right, very good. We're going to break for a second, talk to these young people here. That comes up in just one moment. Our broadcast coverage on the WQL Facebook page is brought to you in part by Lee Pliable, Brad Cyber at the Pliable Insurance Group, Bucyrus and Galleon, Hannah Newton at Wendy's, downtown Bucyrus and Upper Sandusky. Also, North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center in Bucyrus. Brought to you in part by Vince Ponziani and the Associates at Waycraft Industries. Rod Steiger at Pizza at Bucyrus, Galleon, host of our show since 1992. The Burkhart family, Burkhart Farm Sales, your Case IH dealer on the Manette New Winchester Road. We're going to go down the table here. We're going to go right to left. Right next to me, I have Carter Boggs, who's a freshman. Carter, talk to me a little bit about why you chose cross country, other than the fact that your dad's the coach.
I chose cross country because it's a fun sport with all the close friends in it. I like to work, and I knew cross country was going to be a sport where if you put in work, you will get a lot of success in it.
All right, you have any other sports besides cross country?
I do track.
You do track as well. So obviously, I would assume that one helps the others. Fall helps swim, swim helps fall. And the difference is the distance that you're running. Which is easier for you? Dad's coaching both, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Which one's easier for you?
Track suits me more just because I like running. It's a way quicker pace, which suits me more.
All right. Now, does that mean that you get into the worldly long distance types of events in the track team as opposed to the short distance 5 yards and so on and so forth?
I'll do the longer distance. It doesn't matter to me. I think I shoot better in the 800 meters and mile.
All right.
There's the 2 mile. So
You try to recruit your friends into this deal too?
definitely.
All right. So you need to take a sales course in it or what? And what's the rejection?
I tell them that if you come up for a cross, you will get way better in every single sport.
All right.
You do. Just because you'll be way more fit for it, as if not doing it, you'll be as fit.
So that was pretty much my next question. Cross country is good training for other sports.
Yes.
All right. Let's go down to our next young man here. We've got Carter Pierce. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
All right, Carter. Also a freshman. All right. And let's talk to you about the same thing. Why cross country?
Well, I didn't start until elementary, but it was a really fun thing. I was never expecting me to run.
All right.
I just liked it.
So now, do you have an opportunity to work in any other sports besides cross country?
Yeah, I do basketball and track.
I mean, I gotta believe in basketball. This is, because when I talk to basketball coaches, one of the first things they do, you don't shoot basketball the first few days you're out. You run, right?
Yes.
You got to already be in shape. You're probably ahead of a lot of the other guys in that category, right?
Yes.
All right. Talk to me a little bit about recruiting some of your class members to get into this event.
Well, I asked them if they want to do it, and they usually say that no. I was like,
Speak up a little bit.
I was like, well, I asked them why are you not doing cross country? They're like, because it's not fun. I was like, you should try it because it is fun.
So you got to put the harder sales on. Get a little bit more hardcore with the song, huh? All right. Let's talk a little bit about cross-country training for other sports. We mentioned that. Other sports, you mentioned basketball.
Yes.
And there is a good relationship between cross-country and basketball.
Yeah, so it really helps me get up and down the court quickly, and I don't add out of breath as quickly as all the other guys.
All right. We're going to skip a little bit here because these guys did not necessarily sit down in chronological order. Harper, did you move or did Charlie move?
She moved.
You moved, huh? Okay, Harper's a veteran here. She's a junior now. And Harper, talk to me a little bit about, again, why you chose cross country.
I chose cross country because I knew it would be pretty challenging and I'm up for challenges.
All right. And does this help you out in any other sports? Are you doing anything besides?
Yeah, I do powerlifting in the winter and track in the spring.
All right. So powerlifting, how does cross country help powerlifting?
It increases stamina and endurance, so especially when I do deadlift or squat, it really helps. Especially
So if you found yourself being a salesperson trying to get other people in there, you only got a couple of years left in this young lady.
I try.
You try?
The girls are a lot harder than the guys do.
And what's their objection?
They do other sports such as volleyball or swimming,
Well, if they're doing a fall sport, I certainly understand that.
or they just don't have the mental toughness like other girls.
Okay. Hartford, you did a great job. Thanks a lot. And next we've got Leah Sheets. Leah is our senior. And you got to leave it all out on the table this year, right, Leah?
Yeah.
All right. What are your goals this year as a senior in the cross country program?
Well, I would like to be a leader on the team and help the younger underclassmen, and then I would like to run under 25.
Okay. Do you think that's an obtainable goal?
Yeah.
Have you been doing a lot of practice in the summer? Have you been out in the streets every day?
Almost every day.
Almost every day. What kind of a course do you run? Because I used to see a lot of kids running up and down the main drag in downtown Bucyrus. I'm not seeing that as often. Where are you guys running?
Well, we do some city runs. We'll run to like Wendy's and back, and then
Okay.
we'll run like runs to the park.
Okay.
And then
So Allmiller Park's a good place.
yeah, it's a nice place to run. There's a lot of shade.
As a senior, are you out there still trying to recruit?
Yeah, but it's really hard. A lot of the mileage we run scares them all. So.
All right. So are you finding it just because they're in other sports or working, or they just don't
That
care?
is a lot of it, and some of them it's just they kind of don't care, and
They don't care.
running doesn't really excite them.
Yeah, well, I can understand that to a certain extent. Let's segue over to, you did a great job, young lady. And we've got Charlie Miley, who's right in the middle, a sophomore. Charlie, how long have you been running?
I've been running since 4th or 5th grade.
4th and 5th grade? All right, so you actually started in elementary school. So.
I was part of the first elementary team we ever had.
Actually, all three of the boys, we do an elementary program, as do several of the other schools, and these three were three of the boys in the first group of the elementary program.
Well, that's got to make you happy, Coach.
Mhm.
All right, let's talk a little about the opportunity to have cross country help in other sports. Are you playing other sports besides
Just cross the track.
cross track? No, track. Obviously, one helps the other, correct? All right. Talk to me a little bit about some of the goals you have for yourself this year.
Goals, sub 19, probably closer to 18s, but that's about all my goals there. Try to recruit more people. Coach always tells me I'm a chicken magnet, so try to give me the on
You really think so, huh?
That's what Coach tells me.
That's what the coach tells you? Okay. All right, well, we'll see. Well, girls down there think it's pretty funny. So, listen, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for stopping by. We're going to break for a second and come back and talk to Coach about some of the first matches coming up. That happens in just one moment. Our show brought to you in part by Luann Krebs and River's Edge Embroidery and Screen Printing. Also, Dr. Erica Schieber at Bucyrus Veterinary Services, 222 West Mary Street. Dr. Thomas M. Britton at Clubview Vision Center. Mike Kleinite, Ag Credit Residential Lending, Bucyrus, Mount Gilead, and Marion. Also, The Ohio State University at Marion, a Big Ten education close to home. Ted Coder at Monarch Body Shop, New Washington, and Blythe Freely and Todd McDougal at Freely and Company Insurance up in Dutchtown. Coach, let's talk a little about possible, we got a lot of young people though. So is the idea of districts, regional, state, is that completely off the table, or is there?
No, I don't think so at all. We have a young group of kids, but we have a very talented group of kids.
All right.
So just once they get into racing, we'll see.
Next.
I think the possibilities are definitely there.
Next Monday is when we can start doing legal practice. When's our first match?
Our first race, I believe, it's August 29th or 26th. It's at Northmore.
Okay.
It's the first Monday we're allowed to have a meet, so we go to Northmore, which is notoriously difficult, uphill, in the woods course, usually very hot. And then we actually are going to Seneca East the following Saturday. They have a very big invitational up there. We're going to try this year to do something different.
Are most of your matches duels and quads? And
No, most cross-country races anymore are invitationals. It's just scale of invitational, like some are 8 to 10 teams, some are 30.
Right.
teams. But most of the time, all the cross-country races are invitationals of some form.
Is cross-country a league sport in the N10?
Mm-hmm, it is.
So virtually all the N10 schools have it then?
And the N10 has a very strong group of cross-country teams. So
Right. Do we have a league meet?
We do, and that's held at Seneca East every year.
All right. And how about a county meet? Do they have a county meet?
They still are doing a county meet, which with only 6 teams, and not all the schools always have a team. It's a
Well,
small.
all the schools, everybody in the Crawford County is in the N10 with the exception of Galley.
Crestline.
Crestline, I forgot about that, okay. And Crestline made
And it's one of those things when you see the same teams all the time. That's why we try to find different invitationals to go to and just race different people.
All right. Coach, thank you so much. Runners, thank you so much. Good luck this season. We appreciate it. We're going to be back and we're going to be talking coming up with the Winford Royals. And that happens in just one moment.